What's up, Wikimaniacs? On today's episode, we have an OP who abandons her baby, a wife throws her husband's Father's Day gift in the trash, an OP sends a Venmo request asking for a reimbursement, and no, I don't mean to you, Sean.
I got scared for a second.
A wedding lands on OP's birthday, and an OP who gets into a bidding war over her kid's nanny. For the Patreon exclusive stories, we have a very interesting Am I the Asshole story from an OP that we have covered before, and an OP who wants to charge their roommates a cleaning fee. If those sound interesting to you and you want day early and ad-free episodes, head on over to patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network, or you can sign up for our YouTube memberships on our YouTube channel. Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Get therapy.
I'm not ready.
Get therapy.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? It's your boy Josh here for another Friday Am I the Asshole episode. I'm back, baby. It feels good. Feels good to be back in the chair. But I'm, of course, joined with my lovely co-host, Sean Salvino. What's up, buddy?
How goes it, brother? Happy to be here.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited. John is still on his cruise, like we said last episode. Still living life. He is the asshole for not taking us.
Yeah, rude.
He's also not the asshole because he took his mom. So it's fair
he's
enough.
An angel.
Yeah, he's an angel for that. But yeah, so you have no one to compete against today, Sean. Just
Love
yourself.
That. Just me.
Just yourself. And sometimes that's the hardest challenge.
We'll see. We'll see. These sound awful, I gotta say, just right off the bat, these stories.
Some are bad. Some are funny. And then others are just like, what the fuck? So it's a classic episode.
I'm into it.
I think there's a couple, because it's end of May as we're doing this one. So there's a couple Mother's Day ones, weddings starting to come into trend now. So there's going to be more wedding stories as we go along, which for me is enjoyable.
A what not to do of sorts.
Exactly. We were actually just at a wedding this weekend. Shout out to Ben and Sid who got married this weekend.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was awesome. Very beautiful wedding. But that's not what we want to hear. We want to hear the assholes today. So let's hop into the first story, Sean. Cross-posted by First Per Sean Energy.
Whoa.
A goat.
You've achieved the status.
They've well achieved. They were probably one of the first to achieve the status.
Yeah, probably.
If you name your username after Sean.
Insta goat status.
Insta goat status. This one is titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Coworkers I'd Abandon a Baby?
That they would abandon a baby.
Yes.
I guess we're dealing strictly in hypotheticals, so I'll say no. There's got to be a good reason to where you say this in front of a bunch of coworkers, a place where you want people to like and respect you. Not share some of your deepest, darkest secrets. I would hope.
Could you imagine just like you're out for lunch with your coworkers, you see a baby in a stroller. I'm going to grab that baby and abandon it.
Yeah, it's already just leave it or find. No, leaving it is abandoning it. Yeah, find the mother is what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm glad you picked up on. Hopefully, it's a hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's it sounds like a hypothetical.
Yeah.
And surely you wouldn't say something stupid in front of coworkers. But now that I say that out loud, we've had multiple stories where people say stupid shit in front of their coworkers. So I don't know. I could be super wrong here, but I'll stick with it. Not the asshole.
Let's hop into it and see if you are correct, Sean. All right. I know. Slightly clickbait title. So already addressing.
I like where it's going.
Yeah, there we go.
It's feeling good for me.
I, 26 female, was having a conversation with some coworkers when the subject of Mother's Day came up. That's when I get asked, when are you having kids? I smile politely and reply, never. I don't want kids. This is where things start to escalate.
Ugh, stay out of people's business. You're a coworker. Not an appropriate question to ask anybody.
Yeah, that's already a question where I always hate that question. I have a friend who they didn't want to have kids at this time, but their parents kept asking them. Just like,
Yeah.
fuck off. And it's like, yeah, why pressure people into this question or like even ask them? Because some people can't, you know what I mean? And you could just be dredging up shit. So just mind your own business.
I say this as somebody who, as a probably 19-year-old, you know, I didn't know that was a thing. So I asked like my sister's friend, I was like, oh man, when are y'all working on the second? And then he was like, we've been, it's just not happening. And I was like, oh my God, that's probably just not a question I should ever ask somebody. Cause that's a very personal reason you just gave me. And I'm sure it wasn't comfortable. And yeah, I just learned my lesson the hard way. So yeah, guys, just never a good, mind your own fucking business is.
Don't be a Sean because you don't want to be in that position.
I was just standing there like, I think I'm a douche. I think I'm a fucking ass.
I mean, at least you took that and was like, all right, I'm not going to ask
life
this question.
lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life lesson for sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So this is where things start to escalate. I work with all women and they seemed shocked, even horrified by my statement. The fact is, I do not want to have children, period. End of discussion. The conversation, as close to word for word as I can remember, went as follows. And keep in mind, there are about 5 individuals, all over the age of 40. But what if your husband wants to have kids? And OP responds, then I'd get a new husband.
Yeah.
They then ask, you're almost 30. You should start to think about these things. OP responds, but I never want children, even at 30. They then ask, what if you get pregnant accidentally? OP responds, well, then I'd get an abortion. They then ask, well, a lot of states aren't allowing that anymore.
It's insane that this conversation is still going.
It didn't end 3 questions ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a secondary question before you maybe take the fucking hint that, okay, I think she knows what she wants.
Yeah.
I think there's no point in asking hypotheticals. And it sounds like they're about to get a hypothetical answer that they don't like.
Yep. Or, you know, it's none of my business if she has kids or not. It literally affects me 0%.
0%.
So they ask, well, a lot of states aren't allowing that anymore. What will you do then? And OP says, I guess give it to someone who wants it. They then say, you'll change your mind once you held it. And OP says, no, I would not want to hold it. I would ask them to take it to an adoption center. But then they say, I don't think they'd let you give it away for adoption. You're fit to be a mother. You wouldn't just abandon your baby. To which OP responds, yes, I would. If I had no choice, I'd dump it on the church step if I had to.
I mean, y'all have begged for this answer at this point.
This is where this conversation is leading.
There was no other way this ended. You asked for this.
I kept egging her on just to hopefully get her to say yes. Like, fucked up.
Yeah, I'll fucking bring her here with put her right next to some donuts and let somebody take her.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of the day, which thankfully was only a few hours, was so awkward, with them muttering and talking about how they couldn't understand how someone like me, and then in brackets, I don't know what they mean by that, maybe because I'm white, working class, healthy woman, couldn't possibly want to have children. When talking with my mom later, she said I should have just tried to change the subject and that I was an asshole for taking it that far, but I was just being honest about what I do.
You're just answering questions you're being asked.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't initiate this conversation. You know what I mean? I was just being honest about what I do. I do not want children. Even if that means having to go through the trauma of pregnancy, I'd still give it away at any cost. I would like to clarify, I do not hate kids nor wish to harm them. I just do not want to have one of my own, and instead of accepting that, they kept trying to create scenarios that make me admit that I'd keep it. So am I the asshole?
Abso-fucking-lutely not. It's nice to get one right.
Yeah, you killed that one.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, like they're asking hypothetical questions. You keep asking those questions, especially at the where this conversation is heading. Yeah, the trajectory of this conversation. You could just imagine you're going to eventually get a hypothetical answer that you don't love. So truly not on OP at all. They kept badgering. This is just what you get when that happens.
Yeah. And I truly don't understand where it comes from when some people just don't understand. Some people don't want kids. Like,
I feel like it has to be from older people that just like don't realize how much more expensive shit is now than when it was when they were.
It could be that.
30.
Yeah.
Just because I see I see like the old, I forget what his name is, that old financial analyst guy.
Oh, that
always
fucking
just,
guy. I hate that guy.
Sometimes it's good advice. Sometimes it's just like, okay, brother, like
buy a rental property. It's like, I don't have the money for a rental property.
Everything was so much cheaper back then.
Yeah.
I don't think you're taking into account that it's just not possible with how much we get paid now versus how expensive things are. I don't think for an economy expert, it seems like you don't have basic understanding of the economy.
Yeah.
I'm neither here nor there, but it's just, I think older people truly just don't get a grip on how bad it is out here.
Yeah.
Not only financial, but also just like social wise, like just our generation knowing kind of more about the world, not through like news, but through other people living in the world and listing their experiences and showcasing how they're living and what their world situation is. And it's just like, take financials out of it. It's scary to have a baby in a world that is not very safe.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm sure they had, knowledge of that stuff, but it's just, I feel like we know now on a much more macro level. Yeah. It's
like
just
everywhere you go.
Yeah. We just know almost too much.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Almost too much.
Yeah, I agree. I think it partially comes from, not maybe understanding, the social economic scenario that many of us millennials and Gen Z are in. But also I think it comes from maybe a place of insecurity, or like maybe they didn't know they wanted to have kids. And then later on they were like, oh, I want to have kids. I was that way for a long time. I didn't want to have kids. And like, now I'm like, oh yeah, I could see myself having a couple kids. Which
it could also be the opposite too.
Yeah. 100%.
To where they had kids at a young age and
regret it.
Maybe not that they regret having kids, but maybe
that's a little mean, I guess. That's not what I meant.
I'm sure they love their children.
Yes.
But they do see that, there are other ways to happiness, and maybe that, they see you doing some things that they couldn't do because they were pregnant at a young age.
Yeah.
So maybe that is also pushing, which is, get therapy. But again, just don't pry. Never pry.
Well, even my mom, like, who, I mean, loves us obviously, but she was like, yeah, I kind of wish I'd waited a little bit longer to have kids, just to, travel a bit more and stuff like that when she's younger. Cause I mean, they had me at a fine age. It was like mid-20s, but she's like, I wish I had traveled a little bit more, before I, had kids and settled down. But, I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel that way. Not that they don't love their kids. That was not what I meant to say.
I wanted to help clarify for you before we got another
before the
peanut butter situation.
But Reddit deemed not the asshole, obviously. And
good.
Logical lower score Bobcat 9703 said, even if you did hate kids, you're entitled to your feelings.
Yeah.
Your coworkers were intrusive and out of line. None of these hypothetical situation questions were necessary. You said you didn't want kids, and that should have been the end of the conversation. And you didn't say you would abandon your baby until they put you in a ridiculous situation where both abortion and adoption weren't an option. They don't deny you the right to put your baby up for adoption because you're fit to be a parent. They pushed and you answered. It's not your fault that they didn't like the answers. And I agree. Also, this is why, abortion and adoption should be legal everywhere.
Yeah, should be a woman's choice.
And also easy access to preventative measures. Mm-hmm. All right, Sean, you nailed that one. And we're on to the next one. Yes, take it in. Celebrate.
Hell yeah. It doesn't happen often.
You're 100% today.
1 for 1, baby.
This next one posted by Statistician Clear 106 on Am I the Asshole? And the title is, Am I the Asshole for throwing away my husband's Father's Day gift after what he did on Mother's Day?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I would have returned it and got my money
Got
back.
the money. Yeah, true.
Yeah. And then
Got
just
yourself
got
a
him
Mother's Day gift.
because if he fucking blew it on Mother's Day, not that, you're getting them a gift and, gift giving is to give. It shouldn't be
Right.
conditional.
To expect something
Yeah.
back in return.
Yeah,
Fair.
but I understand being petty and being mad. So you gotta do what you gotta do. If he absolutely blew it, he doesn't deserve the PS5 or whatever you bought him. So yeah, I don't blame you. I'll go not the asshole here.
All right. That's fair enough.
Just statistic wise, it seems like that's where it's going.
Let's see if you are correct. My husband and I have 2 kids, 6-year-old boy and 8-month-old girl. He told me for 2 weeks leading up to Mother's Day that he had an entire weekend planned for me.
Oh, brother.
This is not normal, but there's been years in the past where I did complain and feel hurt because he didn't really do much of anything for me on Mother's Day, but I always went all out for him on Father's Day, and I just felt unappreciated. So I'm thinking that he finally understood where I was coming from and was going to make it special for me this year. I quite literally only asked for a massage, and he repeatedly said he couldn't just give me a massage because that wasn't enough. So I don't know. At this point, I'm truly thinking this man went all out. Which, by the way, massages are good anytime. Throw a massage in whenever you can. You know what I mean?
Love a massage.
Yeah. Anyway, Friday rolls around and a bunch of people start showing up. He invited a good 10 to 15 people over. And I think I only knew about 2 people. He called it a Mother's Day bonfire. We had a fire all right, but I was the one who would chase the kids around all evening, in brackets my 6-year-old while holding the baby, and some other person's 2 kids because they weren't actively watching them.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck those kids.
Fuck those kids. I don't know how to read. Nope. Damn it.
Close enough.
Too many buttons now. I can't. And quite literally, no one spoke to me. I wasn't acknowledged until the very end of the evening, and that was by my husband's buddy, who told me that he was stealing my husband to go 4-wheeling. By this point, it's like 11 p.m., and everyone except me was drinking. I said my husband wasn't going anywhere. I even said to my husband that you're drinking and you're not going anywhere. He took that as, oh, I need to find a DD and then I can go. So he asked his neighbor to drive him around and took off with everyone. Could you imagine on Mother's Day?
What is going on? Brother, you threw a party for you on Mother's Day? Also, you left and made her clean, presumably made her clean up after everybody that is not her friend?
Probably. Probably watching the rest of the kids while they all go 4-wheeling.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
Crazy. At this point, I'm extremely hurt because that was my promised weekend and I got stuck with other people's kids. Wasn't spoken to at all and had a mess to clean up, and now my husband is taking off. So you were correct on the mess part.
Bastard.
I explained how hurt I was the next morning. He said he gets it and apologizes and said he just had too much to drink and wasn't really thinking clearly.
You planned that. You planned the whole party, brother.
Yep.
What are you talking about? You don't know any of her friends? Do you not listen?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You don't know her friends. That's wild that you don't know her friends.
This is later on, but they've moved away from where they used to live, which I will get into. But
so then why throw the party in the first place?
Yeah. I mean, why throw a party for Mother's Day that isn't like immediate family? You know what I mean? To celebrate.
If they have a lot of close friends,
sure,
maybe.
But I just
also
feel like
just a wild time to throw a bonfire party. I agree with you.
I just feel like that's not the what your wife asked for or was expecting. You know
Complete opposite of a massage.
Like a nice breakfast in bed, a massage. I
like to relax. All right, well, let's throw a bonfire rager where you watch everybody else's kids while we get drunk.
And all the drunk people acting like children.
Fucking asshole.
So he says he gets it and apologizes and said he just had too much to drink and wasn't really thinking clearly. Okay, I get it. It's whatever. We didn't do anything Saturday because he spent half the day sleeping off a hangover. So yesterday rolls around and his boss calls him at 6 a.m. and asks him to come into work because they are short-staffed, and he said yes.
On Sunday?
Yeah, this would be Sunday.
So on actual Mother's Day?
On actual Mother's Day. Yep.
You bastard.
I expressed my hurt and said, but it's Mother's Day. And he says, I know, I'm sorry. I just don't want to pass up a opportunity for more hours, which I get that too. So whatever. He gets home at 5 p.m. and starts getting the kids dressed and ushered towards the door. So I'm thinking we're finally going to celebrate. We end up going on a walk. I love walking, but 5 minutes in and he's complaining and has us turn around because of the black flies. They weren't that bad. So again, I'm disappointed. When we get back home, he lays on the couch and says, oh, your gift is in the truck. So I go down and it's a $5 storage container for sugar and flour.
Bitch, this guy didn't even bring you the goddamn gift. He
No.
made you walk to the truck.
Probably didn't wrap it.
Probably have the price tag still on there.
Probably. Yeah. Well, she knew exactly it was $5, so that I can only guess.
That's true. You fucking piece of shit.
I do like stuff like this, but I'm so hurt at this point. I asked him if I could at least get a massage, and he says, I'm sorry, babe, I'm just so tired, and falls asleep around 8 p.m. when he usually doesn't go to bed until midnight/1 a.m.
Fuck you, man.
So she didn't even get the one thing she asked for. I just sat there crying. I took the 3 gifts that I already bought him for Father's Day and chucked them into the trash can. Personalized item that cost me more than I wanted to admit, but I don't even care anymore. He found them in the garbage this morning and asked me what they were and why they were in the trash covered in food. And I told him that they were his Father's Day gifts and left it at that. He's now saying that he tried to make my weekend special and he's hurt by me throwing away his gifts in retaliation against him for it not turning out the way he wanted it to. So am I the asshole?
No,
Not at
absolutely
all.
fucking not. He spent the whole weekend. Well, before the weekend, he spent 2 weeks fucking buttering you up for a great weekend and then failed on all accounts.
Yeah.
Tried to surprise you with a party where you don't know anyone, and he did not make sure that you were having a good time. He made sure that he got a lot to drink in, but, you know, paid you no mind during your own party, supposedly your own party.
Supposedly.
And then fucking worked on Mother's Day and then bought her a shitty gift and made her walk out to go get the shitty gift herself.
Yeah.
And even have the decency to... Which
the
made me
fuck
think
up.
you fucking bought it right after working your shift on Mother's
Oh,
Day.
100% he did, Sean. What are you talking about?
So it's just all around bad.
Yeah.
The only way I could see him thinking the party was a good idea with the context that you said is that they moved away from everyone they know. Maybe he threw it with the idea of, you know, these are his friends, but maybe it's a chance for his wife to get to know them or maybe get to know their partners.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the intention, but immediately getting drunk and not like making sure she's having a good time at her own event
And watching
is
his
so
own kids.
fucking terrible. And watching your own the least you could do is watch your own goddamn children.
Yeah.
And make sure that,
Exactly.
you know, she's getting the chance to fucking socialize, which you know, when I give you the benefit of the doubt, that was your intention for this, was for her to socialize. But I'm not so sure given how the rest of the story went. But yeah, I don't know. OP, you're definitely not to blame. Feels good to be right twice.
You did it. Does it feel good?
It does feel good. It does feel good. I got to tell you.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Not the asshole. Like, at this point, I'm like, why are you with someone that doesn't clearly care about you
At all.
It sounds like this isn't the first Mother's Day he's done this. I would hazard to guess it's not going to be the last if this has been brought up many times before.
Yeah.
So I
This
don't
is
know.
this is him trying, which is bad news.
Yeah,
Very bad news.
Definitely bad news. So I don't have hope for this relationship, and I think you should probably look into. I mean, if you really wanted to, and he really wanted to put in the effort, marriage counseling's there. But
Yeah, I think marriage counseling. This is pretty goddamn close to divorce. But yeah, I think it could be saved if he puts in an effort, like actual effort.
and the one thing I will say is like letting him slide with all the being like, okay, I get it. Like, I think you're showing him too much empathy in certain scenarios where you're just letting it go, where you probably shouldn't. I get it. Again, it's not your place to mother him and explain word for word. Like he shouldn't go to work because it's Mother's Day. He should know that.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're letting yourself down if you let him slide with those things. So that's my only thing.
I could see that. Yeah, for sure.
And Reddit said not the asshole because of course. Scary Midscore Cycle 1508 said not the asshole, but please for the love of everything, stop making excuses. Quote, he said he drank too much. Okay, I get it. He said, I just don't want to pass on hours. I get it. Sit him down and tell him what an utter disappointment this Mother's Day was because all he did was do things he wanted to do and that were fun for him. That left you with the children to wrangle that weren't even yours on a day that should be celebrating you. Well, he did things that he wanted to do.
So crazy to leave to go four-wheeling.
Yeah, at 11 p.m. drunk.
While your wife cleans up her own party.
Trails ya, and this is where, so OP responds to a couple of these ones here. Trails ya says, not the asshole. Is he always like this? Because then stop having more kids with this guy. To which OP says, he wasn't always like this, no. I mean, Mother's Day has always been a bit of a disappointment, but he was super present and attentive and just all around good guy in other ways, so it kind of made up for it. But last year, when I was pregnant, we ended up having to move on short notice because our landlord sold the property. We weren't aware that she was selling it, and we only had 30 days to leave.
What a fucking bastard.
Should be illegal.
Should be.
The only place we could find was in his hometown, 2 hours from where we lived. Ever since we got back and he's surrounded with his childhood friends, everything has seemed to gone south. It's a small town and extremely wooded, so basically him and his buddies just drink and go out four-wheeling all the time, and it sucks because he was just never that person before. I feel like the 8 years we've been together was all a lie at this point.
Okay, so I thought they moved far away. 2 hours? You can't take your wife 2 hours to be around her friends?
Yeah.
Brother, not that hard to do.
No.
Get her a massage, and then while she's all sleepy and tired after the massage, drive her the 2 hours to be with her friends. 1,000 times better than your idea. Just what is going through this guy's head? It's crazy.
Not much.
Not much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is for me, this is I mean, it sounds like he might have been fine early on and has gone downhill slowly.
He needs a talking to at this point, for sure.
Yeah.
Be like, look, sit down, communicate. It's been, our time here has been bad for our marriage.
And I will leave you if you don't shape up.
And I'm almost out the fucking door.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, next one, a bit more lighthearted. It's probably still anger-inducing, but a bit more lighthearted anyway.
I'm into it.
And it talks about your favorite thing here, Sean. This is posted on Am I the Asshole by AITAH Venmo.
Oh, money.
Am I the asshole for sending a Venmo request for babysitter, hotel, and Uber reimbursement after a dry wedding?
Yes. I think you're the asshole.
Yeah. Requesting your money back? That's just illegal.
Just because agreed. But just because it was a dry wedding, you didn't have a good time? That's my assumption from hearing that title, is being like, oh, no alcohol, this wedding is shit. Which, it's dancing with loved ones and friends. So alcohol, while fun, and while I usually do drink a lot of it during weddings, not totally necessary.
There will be alcohol at our wedding, Sean, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't have a doubt. I know Sienna drinks.
And we expect you to be the life of the dance floor.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm many years retired, but I'll do my best.
Sean, it'll be a room full of small town white people that can't dance. I can promise you'll be the best there.
Everyone will be impressed with quite literally anything.
Yeah, it's a low bar, so you can hobble over that if you want to in your old age.
I'll do my best.
All right. Let's hop into the story. A friend from college got married this past weekend. The wedding was 45 minutes from my house, so my wife and I got a hotel room. We checked in, had a few pregame cocktails, and we Ubered from the hotel to the venue. We sit down, the wedding happens, it's beautiful. And we get to social hour, as it's called. And there is no booze. Turns out this was a dry wedding. There was no indication that this was a dry wedding before showing up. I checked the digital version of the invite and website, and nothing indicated this.
I think you might be an alcoholic if you're checking the at this point. If you're like, oh, well, how come we didn't get a goddamn notice? I gotta see the invite. I think you might be an alcoholic.
Yeah,
and I don't think that's healthy. You know what I mean? Like, of course, alcohol's fun. You know, I love a good cocktail. I love a drink.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got there and I saw it was a dry wedding, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad I had those 2 cocktails prior. Like,
yeah, he has drinks in his system.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, I'm with you. As someone who experiences every wedding dry, it's still
a good time.
Yeah, it's not a necessary thing. You can still have a good time, even when you don't know anyone. So, yeah, it's
sometimes even better when you don't know anyone. You could just dance like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You're not going to embarrass yourself. And if you do, you're never going to see him again.
That's true. Yeah. It's also fun watching the drunk people dance because that's always entertaining.
That will be happening.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So I'm pissed for a few reasons. I might have not RSVP'd yes if I knew this. I'm also pissed that I blew a few $100 on a hotel for the night, babysitter, and Ubers. I'm like, what the fuck? Other friends there were grumbling and felt similar to me. The night went on and the wedding was fine, but honestly, a bit of a bummer. Now that my wife and I have kids, nights like this are rare and I was pumped to do something. So we dipped out a bit early and went out. Other friends just happened to roll with it. We left in the middle of the dance time and didn't stay for the exit. Later that night, I sent a Venmo request for the cost of a babysitter, hotel, and Ubers.
Fucking ass, brother. What a fucking way to... the same night?
The same
night, brother.
Yeah.
Way to fucking try and ruin somebody's fucking... one of the best nights of their life by being a petty fucking alcoholic asshole.
Just crazy, dude. Like,
you already left early to go have your night out with your wife.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
It could have just left it at that and been like, all right, well, you know, we want to go get some drinks and enjoy our time off. It's like, you can do that without trying to cause a scene. Like, what the fuck? So yesterday I heard from my college buddy. He was like, what the fuck is this, asshole? I explained I was mad that this was a dry wedding. The bride had family members that are alcoholics, so they opted to not have alcohol as an option. I told him that's need to know information. Not informing us of that cost me and our friends to throw away a lot of money. He said I should have just asked him and not assumed it was a wet wedding. I said to him, alcohol is a default option. If you change the default, you tell people. He disagreed with that notion. I said, you drink. Why would I think it's dry? We went back and forth for a while. He still thinks I'm an asshole. Am I?
Yes.
100%.
Duh, you fucking idiot.
What a quick way to ruin your friend's fucking wedding the next day. Like, just to wake up to a Venmo, like a petty Venmo being like, oh, you didn't tell me it was a dry wedding. It's like,
yeah, opening the Venmo and seeing, you know, like all the people give you money, and then to see a fucking request for some fucking jerk off idiot. Fuck you, crazy. Man. You had the 2 cocktails in your system. You left early to have more drinks with your wife and have your night out without your kids. What are you fucking complaining about? You had the hotel without your kids. You had your night out without your kids. It just didn't happen to be at the wedding. Who cares? Why burden? Just say you don't give a fuck about your friend and say you wanted to drink for free. Just say that. Just say that. You fucking ass.
Oh, yeah. It's so anger-inducing because it's like, well, first of all, you're 45 minutes away from your house. So you
not that far.
Didn't need a hotel room. Like, we drove 30 minutes to the wedding this weekend.
Well, he got a hotel because he wanted to fucking get hammered.
Sure. I mean, I'm just saying you probably could have gotten an Uber back. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, yeah.
That's besides the point. But like you chose to spend, like, you already were like, well, we need a babysitter anyway. We're going out, so we might as well get a hotel closer by, and we're gonna Uber over. Like, you chose to make those purchases. It wasn't your friend that forced you to. And like he said, if you really wanted to know, you could have just asked him. Like, is this going to be?
The thing is, you shouldn't even need to know.
No, because
you
really
shouldn't
doesn't
need
matter.
to know, man. If you're there for the wedding, you're there because you should love that person.
Yeah, and support them through whatever it is. I rarely know what I'm going to eat at a wedding, like because you select what it is and then you go. I don't care because I don't care about the food. I'm there to support the people that I love, and I'm happy that like to celebrate them, and that's what it's about. That's what the night's about.
Yeah.
Why make yourself the center of attention and just fucking paint this red streak across their wedding night? Such a selfish, shitty thing to do.
And it's like, asshole, don't you realize not every single person gets invited to the wedding? You are a select person that got invited to this wedding, meaning you mean something to the bride and or groom. And in return, you just shit on that whole relationship because you didn't get free drinks.
Absolutely.
Fuck you, man.
Insane. Reddit deemed asshole.
Good.
And Jillian512 said, "You're the asshole. If alcohol is that important to you, then you should have asked prior to RSVPing. So you were disappointed that you couldn't get loaded on your friend's dime? Okay, be disappointed. To demand that he pay you back is the tackiest thing I've ever heard. And the cheapest thing I've ever heard. Like, dude, what are you doing? Just buy drinks another night.
Or just do what you did, just without sending the Venmo. You can leave early. You were there for, for half of the dancing section. You were there for the ceremony. Just leave a couple hours early so you can have your date night with your wife that you wanted.
Yeah.
All around, you did nothing wrong until you fucking did the Venmo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking
I mean, he sounded like a shitty
shit.
person complaining the whole time.
Yeah, he sounded like a shitty person complaining.
He didn't
but I mean,
act out that anything until the end. Yeah. I agree. All right. Let's move on to the next one, Sean.
Let's do it.
Cross posted by Salamander Neither 695 Goat. And the title for this one is, "Am I the asshole for not wanting to go to my sister's wedding because she's getting married on my birthday?"
I mean, pretty rude for her to set it on your birthday. But also, I mean, you can always celebrate the day after, the day before, the whole week after is fine. There's no law you have to celebrate your birthday on your birthday.
True.
I would imagine maybe there's a good reason she set the date as your birthday. Maybe that's the only time they could get the venue they wanted, or it just lined up best with their... Actually, no, the only reason is the venue. Lining it up with the honeymoon is kind of an asshole reason. Maybe that's the only week they could get family from out of town in. I don't know. I'm hoping there's a good reason she chose your birthday, because if not, that's kind of a shitty sister.
Yeah.
But also, I think if my siblings, scheduled their wedding on my birthday, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to the wedding. I'm going to get super drunk on my birthday. So the plan works either way.
Yeah. I'm
So,
just going
I
to
mean,
get super drunk at your wedding.
at your wedding, it's going to be, the plan does not change. I'm drunk on my birthday. So yeah, I don't see the big deal in it. I do think it's kind of inconsiderate, maybe, but also personally, not a big deal. But I'll go asshole.
I think this will be one, and this might spoil a little bit, but this might be one where it's like you and I would be like, whatever.
Yeah.
But also,
I could see where somebody could be upset.
Yeah.
Especially if they were like, oh, I didn't even know it was your birthday that weekend. That's tough to hear.
That would be tough. Funny story, actually. One of Sienna's bridesmaids' birthday is on our wedding date.
Oh.
We forgot after, but we made sure immediate family, and then afterwards we were like, oh shit. But it was one of the few days we could get the venue. So
yeah, if you gotta get the venue, you gotta get the venue. Those things are booked.
Yeah. And she was cool with it, so we made sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Kayla.
Shout out
who's
Kayla.
been doing a lot of work to help us out. So
Good on you.
all right. So my 20 male sister, 25 female, is getting married on my birthday. When I found out the date she was planning on getting married, June 1st, I was very surprised. She told me about her plans last year and told me that it was because her fiance wanted to make sure his family would be able to fly in. So he suggested that date since all the kids would be out of school by then. Understandable, I guess. Not really, though. I told her that I probably wouldn't be attending because I was going to be celebrating my birthday that day. She was upset and tried to get me to change my mind, but I didn't. Every time her wedding is brought up, she asks me if I'm planning on coming, and I tell her no. She sent out an RSVP 1 week ago, and I RSVP'd no.
What a fucking piece of shit, brother. I don't know.
You're not on his side?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So this is something where I'm like, it is shitty just to put it on his birthday because school is out. You know what I mean? Like school's out for 2 months.
I mean, they could do it the next week too.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like
at
it's
least
immediate family. I would try and avoid birthdays on immediate family, but also like yourself, if this happened to me, I personally wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But I see where someone would be like, well, I mean, why did it have to be my birthday?
It's my 21st birthday. I'm going to get drunk around my family. It's going to be tight.
Yeah.
They can all experience my first beer or whatever.
That's true. Yeah. That's how I would think too. But we'll see. This upset her again, and she practically begged me to attend because she wants her brother there. I told her that I appreciate it and that I love her, but I would still not be attending. She kind of became argumentative with me about it, and I told her I don't see why she'd expect me to celebrate my birthday during a wedding. I reminded her that when I first told her I wasn't going to be attending, she had months to try and change the date. She told me that I could always celebrate my birthday that Friday, but I told her I couldn't because I worked that Friday and I'm not celebrating my birthday on a Sunday. Both her and our parents have been asking me to reconsider since it's in 2 weeks. My parents have told me to be there for my sister. They said a birthday comes every year, but a wedding is only once. But I won't be 21 again, and I personally don't want to spend my birthday during a wedding. But now my birthday is going to be their anniversary going forward, so I'm not sure how that's going to work in the future. I honestly feel like they should have just chosen a different fucking date. I know I would have done that for her, but whatever. Am I wrong, or is she just ignorant?
Yeah, I think you're the asshole. I mean, is it that fucking big of a deal? Whoop, whoop, 21st birthday. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. You're going to have fucking... When you're 30, the birthdays don't even fucking... After 30, who cares what year or what your birthday... I forget that I'm 32 sometimes. I'm like, oh shit, I'm 32. Who fucking cares? Yeah, I'm saying. So it's just, I don't know. There's going to be hella birthdays to come. Could she have changed the date? Yeah, but me personally, again, I can only speak for me before everybody comes for me, but you could celebrate another time. Just like you saying they could choose another date, you could go out with your friends literally any weekend. Having your birthday party or your birthday outing the week after isn't a crazy, pivot. I just don't see why, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is celebrating your birthday worth having your family pissed at you for life? I don't think so. I think you just go get drunk with family, which is probably the safest place to get drunk at. And I don't know, enjoy the night.
Yeah.
I just don't see the big deal. I see where people are gonna say you're not the asshole. She should have changed the date. But I'm just, I'm on the opposite side of that. You could celebrate another fucking week.
Okay, that's fair.
It's much easier. I'm saying it's much easier to reschedule a birthday party or a birthday outing than it is a whole entire fucking wedding.
So I think the argument to that would be, and here's the thing, I mostly agree that this feels like a mountain out of a molehill kind of situation for me personally, because I'm like, I wouldn't care that much. I understand birthdays. People do care about them more than I do, probably. But here's where people might, because over a year ago, she was like, oh yeah, June 1st, because school's out. That was kind of the only reason. And he was like, oh, I won't go then. And she had, they hadn't booked a venue or anything at this point. It sounds like it could have easily been, maneuverable by then. And so that's where I think she sucks, because it's like, well, you didn't even try to avoid the birthday. You know what I mean? It sounds like you were just like, oh, school's out this day. That's the most we think about. Because with us, we were thinking about many things, trying to avoid her dad's birthday, which is around the time we wanted to, and a few other dates that we wanted to avoid, and venue, of course. So we tried to avoid as many things as we can, and I think it was inconsiderate for her not to try and change the date. Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm also like,
is it worth it?
I don't care that much about my birthday personally that I would make this big of a deal about it, and I think it'd be cool to celebrate it. I imagine you get a shout out in the speeches, probably. So I don't know.
You can even put it in your own speech.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a joke about it.
Yeah, say I wanted to go out drinking with the boys, but I guess I'm here celebrating my sister or whatever, something like that. And I get 21's a milestone in America for drinking age, obviously. So I don't know. I think personally, it's just a dumb family feud, in my opinion.
This is me assuming here, but I'm assuming since it's from his point of view versus her point of view, maybe it's not mentioned that she tried to move the date.
Sure, we don't know. Maybe she did try.
Or maybe she talked to her husband and he was like, this is the only time my family can come in. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I could definitely see, the other perspective. But like you said, I'm the same way. I love celebrating my birthday.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm like, not missing the wedding is not worth celebrating my birthday.
I think on the order of vows, I don't know. I truly.
It could be an everyone sucks type of situation for sure.
Yeah, for different reasons.
Yeah.
Because he was straight up with her right off the bat. Like, I'm not going to come if you make it that date. She still made it that date. So
yeah,
that's the only part
makes
where I'm
me
like,
feel like there was no other. Because just why would she beg and then not change the date?
Yeah, but I feel she would have given a better reason then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But anyway, that besides the point. Reddit team, not the asshole. So
yeah.
The comments are going to be after you today, Sean.
I'm sure. And also, I could tell you, I don't give a shit.
You don't give a damn.
I don't give a fucking shit.
And Melody Pond, with a ton of numbers, and I'm not going to read all those numbers. Sorry, Melody, said, I just planned a wedding 3 weeks ago. We wanted a fall wedding and chose our date around birthdays and anniversaries of immediate families. We wouldn't want to have our birthday on someone else's day. That's weird. Plus, my sister-in-law would have thrown a fit if we shared anniversaries. My husband has a whole bunch of things in September, and my family has a whole bunch in October. 10 dates between us, but we found a wedding day that was no one else's with no real effort beyond writing a list that took us 5 minutes. I can't really fathom not taking 5 minutes to ensure we didn't stomp on anyone else's date. And I think that's where, again, there could be context where she did try and just has not communicated at all, which
we
would
can
still
only
be
go
on
off
her.
of the context we have.
Yeah, which would still be on her. But I do agree. It doesn't take a ton of, and I'm saying this as someone who accidentally put it on someone's birthday. But like with immediate family, you know what I mean? Trying to avoid birthdays and anniversaries and stuff. Yeah. It could take a quick 5 minutes to try at least. I don't know. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Be nice.
I'm cool with being wrong, guys. I'm cool with being wrong.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, this is not one of those like life or death scenarios. That's why I'm like, I don't really care because at the end of the day, what your brother, it sucks your brother doesn't go to your wedding, but also you kind of set it up like that. So
yeah, you did it to yourself a little bit.
I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not like it's not the worst story we've ever heard either side.
Yeah.
All right. On to the last story of the day. Unless you are a rich.
Ooh.
This one's cross-posted by Wishing Well, lower score 99. First time I think I've ever read their story, so
same.
Shout out to you.
99.
And this one is titled, Am I the Asshole for Offering My Kid's Nanny More Money / Hours so she won't work for my sister-in-law?
I'll say no. You're not the asshole. Because maybe if she works for your sister-in-law, that means she's working less hours for you. And you don't want to lose hours, so you pay more. At the end of the day, as long as the nanny's getting paid, I'll say you're not the asshole.
If you're giving them more money and more hours,
Yeah.
can't be the asshole, right?
Can't be the asshole.
That's fair enough. All right, well, let's hop into it and see. My husband and I have 3 kids, 10-month-old female, 4 male, and 10 female. We currently have a nanny, Isabel, 22 female, 3 days a week. I have to say, Isabel is fucking amazing. She drives on field trips. She does homework with the kids. She handles play dates. She's the one adult my 10-year-old likes. She's not dependent on screens. She does art projects with the kids. She speaks 10-year-old. And she's even teaching them how to cook and bake. They made mini quiches a few weeks ago. God damn, I can't even make mini quiches.
Yeah, I don't know where to start with a quiche. I just know it's egg.
So my oldest, also shout out to Isabel. Sound like you're killing it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
My oldest is doing state testing right now and wanted a fun activity with her friends. Isabel suggested a spa day, and my daughter loved it. They set up a day for my 4-year-old to go home with his grandparents and let Isabel turn our living room into a spa. She picked up my daughter, my niece, and 2 friends, brought them over to her house, and did their hair and nails while they laid back and did face masks. I guess my niece was telling her mom how cool Isabel is because my sister-in-law texted Isabel offering her a nanny position 4 days a week, matching whatever I pay her, but only for 1 kid. Isabel showed me the text and told me that she will have to think about it because the extra money would be nice. I told her if she promised to stay next year, I'd have her 5 days a week with $5 per hour raise. So Isabel turned my sister-in-law down, saying she had received a better offer. Now she's telling my husband's family that I stole a nanny from her.
That she tried to steal from you.
The irony.
The boy who cried wolf.
Yeah. They're upset I outbid my sister-in-law and gave Isabel extra money and hours just so my sister-in-law wouldn't get her. My husband said it was petty. So am I the asshole for offering Isabel a raise and more hours so she doesn't work for my sister-in-law?
Is your husband finna do all the work that Isabel's doing?
Yeah.
Doubt it.
'Cause
Highly
you'll
doubt
be without
it.
a nanny, so you'd have to do work.
What the fuck? Your sister-in-law first, you got to tell the family your sister-in-law tried to steal her first. I just upped the offer. Second, you couldn't have been like, hey, you could have asked me. I could have asked Isabel. I'm sure Isabel has friends in the nanny world, in the industry. Yeah. I'm sure she has some recommendations. So absolutely, great to be right, but absolutely fuck your sister-in-law. Absolutely fuck her. She tried to ruin y'all's thing going on. I mean, more power to, I'm happy you ended up with more money for Isabel. She just sounds like she definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
But, fuck your sister-in-law and fuck your husband for not having your back on this. Seems like he, out of everyone, should understand what Isabel means to your family, unless he's so unattached that he has no idea what Isabel means to your family, which sounds like a possibility.
Probably.
Statistic-wise, that seems to be a common theme. But I just feel like I have no idea why he would call it petty if you're only responding to her.
Yeah. It's like any job, right? Like you're like, oh, if this was a random person out trying to outbid you, and then you outbid her to keep her on.
Yeah, the whole family would be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Would your husband call you petty then? Like, like what's so stupid to me? And yeah, like you said, Sean, the sister-in-law went behind your back to try and outbid you. So you responded to the bid and beat her. Why is that petty? That's you being, I mean, honestly, she's being petty for being so upset about it.
Yeah, for crying to the family about it.
Yeah, dude. Like
when that happens, you're going to be like, yeah, you outsnaked me. What can I say? I mean, you're in the wrong. How are you going to go cry afterwards?
It's absolutely insane to me. And then for your husband to call you petty, it's just like, all right, we won't have a nanny. You'll actually have to do some fucking work because it doesn't sound like you do any right now.
Yeah, what I would do is I'd be like, all right, Isabel, I'm going to pay you the same. I want you to take the week off. My husband says he has it covered. And then just let him get a taste of what Isabel does for the family.
Yeah, he better be teaching how to do mini quiches.
Yeah. Fucking arts and crafts and shit.
It's crazy to me. I cannot fathom how the husband thinks she's petty. should have your back for trying to give your kids a better life.
I just always, so many stories where the partner is against OP. I'm just like, why? You're not a good partner, brother. It's when you choose a partner, when you marry them, they're priority one. You know what I mean? There's, love family, love them, but, they don't supersede your partner. I don't think, unless your partner is doing some terrible stuff. But I mean, this is not that. This is her just replying back to what your sister tried to do.
This is literally her being like, our kids enjoy a better life when we have this nanny in their life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Try to improve the quality of your children's
Our
life.
10-year-old does not like us.
Yeah.
She likes Isabel.
I mean, is a given with the husband's response.
Yes.
Reddit deemed not the asshole, and Laurel Crash said, not the asshole. Every parent knows that a good babysitter or nanny is worth their weight in gold. Mm-hmm. Your sister-in-law is the asshole for trying to poach your nanny, and your fighting to keep her should be expected.
Yeah.
It's rich that your sister-in-law is accusing you of stealing the nanny when she tried to do the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. Edit just make sure you follow through with the promised raise, etc. And if your husband has such an issue with it, tell him he's responsible next time you need a new nanny/sitter. He can do all the interviewing and contacting references and background checks and negotiations for pay. It's not as easy as find a new nanny. Your sister-in-law knows this and tried to circumvent the process. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, give your husband the reins on that one next time you lose a nanny. And he'll learn very quick that it's not easy to find a good one.
Idiot.
All right, well, that is it for this episode, Wikimaniacs. What did you think? Were these people assholes? Let us know down in the comments on YouTube, Discord, or on our subreddit. If you want to hear more, please consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network, or you can join our YouTube memberships page. And just go to our YouTube channel and click join. You get all the same $5 content there.
Hell yeah.
All right, Sean, thank you for coming on today. Congratulations for going positive. Only missing on one, I think.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Hell yeah. Even on the Patreon. The Patreon you lost.
Nah, I went 50% on the Patreon.
So go check that out on our Patreon page. But thank you, Sean, for coming on, giving your takes. Thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. See you on Monday. Bye.
Later.
Therapy.